Oh, something growing in there already.
And again.
One more, I think. With me.
So what happened here first?
Well, like I say, just the clearing really.
Right.
We had a huge route over where we're going to put our pond, which we had to dig up.
Oh yeah.
And that's in our border, which we're
Phil was showing me earlier.
garden. We're hoping to get a stumpery there, which is a kind of wildlife area with ferns and things.
Yeah, I was saying perhaps it might be worth getting a local artist to see if they can do something with it. 'Cause it could be an interesting centrepiece.
Yeah.
So how come you decided to have this area as beds and you've left that area go?
Mostly because of the trees. We get more light here for growing.
Aspect,
Yeah.
light.
But it is sheltered, so which is lovely. So some days it can be really windy out on the seafront, and you come here, and it's lovely and calm and peaceful.
Lovely. And better than a walled garden because you've got a lovely shelter belt all the way around it.
All the way around. We had those small raised beds in the front here, so right at the front.
Okay.
We were still digging this area out, so we wanted to get things started off.
Sure.
So we put runner beans and we put tomatoes. And we had bumper crop of everything, so the shade obviously didn't bother it too much, so we did really well. And we didn't get any sort of bugs or anything nasty, and we think that's because of the organic way we're working and encouraging all the wildlife here.
So apparently you've got some sleepers. Did they get donated, or did you have to buy them in, or where did they come from? Because they're lovely for raised beds and stuff, aren't they?
They would be perfect for raised beds, and they're ideal for wheelchair use as well once we get the path finished. And we managed to get the funding for them from a local health fund, so we're really pleased that we've got them all in place now. We just need to put them together.
Okay, so you've got the kit.
So we need some manpower.
Yeah, so you got the kit to put together. You've got some sunflowers coming through here.
Yes, indeed. And a donated greenhouse as well, just over in the corner there.
So, what's going in here? This looks like it's going to be a pond.
It is indeed a wildlife pond.
All the rubble from over there is going to come in and then be the surround around the pond to stop people getting in. Obviously, that's going to make the path a bit wider over there, and that's going to look quite nice.
It will look pretty, yes, and give more shelter to wild animals again. So.
And the flora, got the bluebells here.
Yes.
And it looks like so these are some English bluebells because they're on one side and leaning over and a bit smaller. Whereas these are the Spanish.
Yep.
360 degrees, a bit taller and stronger. So this is the invasive bluebell.
They are indeed, yes. You have to watch that they don't take over your whole garden area.
And I mean, you can tell by the size of them. You see the size of the English compared to the size of the Spanish. Obviously, I don't know how long these ones have been established. But this looks very well established.
Delicate, aren't they?
They are. They're a bit smaller, and a bit forlorn. So we just watched you put together a new hive.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm ever so pleased about today because I picked up a swarm up a tree on Monday in the centre of Brighton. The owner was a fireman, which was handy because we got him sort of helping an up a tree, didn't mind ladders. It was big, but I didn't know whether it was the prime swarm which you get with the mated queen or whether it was a virgin.
Does that make a difference when you select the hives?
What happens is that when they swarm, they only swarm because there's not enough room in there. So you get the flying bees and the queen, and they take her away land in a tree, and that's what I've got. But they leave behind some eggs, and the house bees, because for the first 3 weeks they don't fly. They've got their jobs to do, and they sort of feed the queen and feed the larvae, etc. So as soon as they've gone, they will have left a queen cell in there. About 1 or 2 days later, that queen cell would hatch out, and they've got a queen, and they've basically split into two colonies then.
So today you've brought a non-virgin swarm here.
Yeah, I've just found out because I've seen eggs. I put on my reading glasses and I've saw the eggs, and I just thought I'd show you this, which is all the different coloured pollens they're bringing in. They're definitely,
so
we're in May probably now. They've been bringing in very yellow, so maybe there's some cherry trees around. Whether there's some field beans, I saw some bringing in very green, which might be bluebell.
Well, they're field beans, aren't they?
I don't know, they're broad beans. I don't know.
That's close to a field bean.
Well,
related.
Okay, well that's what. It'll be dark. It'll be dark.
Yeah.
And horse chestnut is a very
very
sort
burgundy,
of,
brown.
burgundy colour. Yeah. So there's all those different colours that they bring in.
And then how long will it be before you'll be able to collect the honey and the wax and all that thing?
Maybe July, August. Some colonies, depending on the strain of bees, are known to be prolific honey producers. Some are not, but some are more hardy in the winter.
Okay.
So, you might lose your, say if they're Italian bees, they might not be so good at surviving our winter, but in a mild winter, like last, they'd do well.
Sure.
And they'd produce a lot of honey.
Yeah. And other bees just go all year round, do they?
No.
So it's just a summer activity. You don't get other strains of bees which are creating honey all year round.
There's only no. Honey bees, they sort of go to sleep in the winter. Not really go to sleep. They don't hibernate. They kind of just cluster and stay in their hive, and they eat their stores. So you've got to leave some honey for them to last. So when they start shutting down, sort of like depending on the weather, but September, October time, they're not foraging anymore, and then they open up, say, February when it gets a bit warmer.
Okay, so they close up shop, foraging shop, kind of September, October-ish.
So that's why they get more than they need, because they know they've got to cope with the winter.
Sure. So the trick is you can scrape off some of the surplus, but don't leave them hungry, or else you're not going to have a hive next year.
That's right.
And I suppose a lot of novices might do that, thinking they'll claim all the honey and leave the bees starved.
I have seen a colony last year that starved to death. And what you see the frames, the little hexagons.
The honeycomb.
Bees are in there. Their heads are all in there, trying to lick out the last bit of honey, but they're all dead.
Oh, so they're going to an empty cupboard, basically. And that's,
so somebody has not fed them, not read the signs.
So someone's done it, but not really known the life cycle, the nature of the bees.
With my main colony there, I picked that up as a swarm last May, didn't take any honey off at all, left it all on for them, even fed them, and I left it on all winter, and I took off just 6 frames on the 1st of April this year.
Okay.
So I left it on until April, when they were all flying, it's sunny, they didn't need it anymore. So I just think, because I'm not doing it, mainly for the honey. The honey is nice, but I'm doing it really for the bees and for a learning curve myself. And,
enjoying the process. It's a lovely hobby.